Welcome, adventurers, to another thrilling episode of Mythic Mosaic. I'm your guide through time, ready to dive into the pages of history with you. Today, we embark on a journey to meet one of history's most legendary heroes. Are you ready? Let's set sail to ancient Rome and discover the incredible story of Spartacus. Picture this: the bustling streets of ancient Rome, where the echoes of chariots and bustling markets fill the air. Our tale begins not in the grand city itself, but in the rugged lands of Thrace, where a young Spartacus first drew breath. Born around 100 BC, Spartacus was destined for greatness, though his early years were anything but glamorous. Spartacus was a Thracian, a people known for their fierce warriors and wild landscapes. Imagine the young Spartacus learning to wield a sword and shield, his eyes filled with dreams of glory. But life had other plans. Captured by the Romans, Spartacus found himself thrust into the brutal world of slavery. A slave in the Roman Empire. Not exactly the adventure our young hero had in mind. Yet, Spartacus was no ordinary man. His strength and courage caught the eye of a Roman Ianista, a trainer of gladiators. Sold to a gladiator school in Capua, Spartacus began his training. Little did they know, they were training the man who would shake the empire to its core. Imagine the clashing of swords, the roar of the crowd, and Spartacus standing tall among his peers. He fought in the arena, a living symbol of strength and defiance. But under the surface, a storm was brewing. Spartacus longed for freedom, and he wasn't alone. In 73 BC, he and around 70 fellow gladiators made their daring escape. But let's pause for a moment to understand what life was like in a gladiator school. These weren't just training centers. They were harsh environments where men were trained to fight and kill for the entertainment of the masses. Each day was a struggle for survival. And through this crucible, Spartacus's resolve only grew stronger. He formed bonds with his fellow gladiators, men who shared his dreams of freedom and his determination to fight for it. Fleeing to the slopes of Mount Vesuvius, Spartacus and his band of rebels began their fight for freedom. They were joined by thousands of slaves, all yearning to break their chains. Like Robin Hood and his merry men, they raided Roman estates, gathering weapons and supplies. Their message was clear: the oppressed would no longer remain silent. The Roman Senate, however, was not amused. They sent legions to crush the rebellion, but Spartacus proved to be a brilliant tactician. He outmaneuvered the Roman forces time and time again, turning the tide in favor of the rebels. His army swelled to over 70,000 strong, a mighty force challenging the mightiest empire of the ancient world. Imagine the chaos and the clamor as Spartacus and his army of rebels stormed Roman villas and towns. They liberated slaves, gathered resources, and spread the word of their rebellion. Spartacus was not just a warrior. He was a leader who inspired hope and bravery among the oppressed masses. His army was a mosaic of different people, united by their desire for freedom. Spartacus's strategic brilliance was nothing short of legendary. He understood that his army, though large, was not invincible. He used guerrilla tactics, striking swiftly and disappearing into the countryside. He turned the Roman fear of slave revolts to his advantage, making every encounter a psychological battle as well as a physical one. Back in Rome, the Senate was in turmoil. The rebellion was a serious threat, and they knew they needed to act decisively. Enter Marcus Licinius Crassus, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, tasked with putting an end to Spartacus's rebellion. Crassus was determined to restore the glory of Rome by any means necessary. Crassus took command of 8 legions, roughly 40,000 men, and set out to crush Spartacus. He employed harsh measures to instill discipline in his troops, even resorting to the ancient punishment of decimation, where every 10th man in a failing unit was executed. Crassus's ruthlessness was matched only by his ambition. The cat-and-mouse game between Crassus and Spartacus began. Spartacus led his army through a series of brilliant maneuvers, avoiding direct confrontation and keeping the Romans off balance. Yet, despite their successes, the rebels faced internal strife. Some of Spartacus's followers wanted to escape over the Alps to freedom, while others desired to continue raiding Italy. Spartacus himself hoped to lead his people to freedom beyond the Alps, but fate intervened. As the rebel army made its way north, they encountered resistance from the Roman legions. The dream of crossing the Alps faded, and Spartacus turned south, hoping to find other avenues of escape and to continue the fight. In 71 BC, the final confrontation loomed near the Salaris River. Spartacus's forces, though valiant, were tired and outnumbered. Crassus's legions closed in, and the battle was fierce. Spartacus, in a last act of defiance, charged into the thick of the fight, seeking out Crassus himself. Spartacus fought with the strength and valor of 10 men, but even heroes have their limits. He fell in battle, surrounded by Roman soldiers. His body was never found, but his legend lived on. The rebellion was crushed, and the survivors were crucified along the Appian Way, a grim reminder of Rome's power. The Appian Way, lined with the crucified rebels, was a tragic end to a noble cause. But Spartacus's legacy was far from dead. His story inspired countless generations to fight against tyranny and oppression. He became a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope that echoed through the centuries. Spartacus's tale did not end with his death. It crossed the boundaries of time, inspiring stories, books, and films. His life became a testament to the indomitable human spirit. From the sands of the arena to the battlefield, Spartacus's journey was one of courage, defiance, and unwavering hope. And let's not forget the many faces of Spartacus in popular culture. From classic literature to Hollywood blockbusters, his story has been retold countless times, and each retelling adds a new layer to the myth, keeping his spirit alive for future generations. Spartacus's story reminds us that even in the darkest times, heroes can emerge from the most unlikely places. His journey, from a Thracian warrior to a gladiator, and finally to a symbol of freedom, is a testament to the power of the human spirit. It's a story that will continue to inspire and captivate us for generations to come. So, dear adventurers, our journey through the life of Spartacus comes to an end. But the spirit of adventure never dies. Join us next time on Mythic Mosaic, where history comes alive with tales of courage, wonder, and imagination. Until then, keep dreaming, keep exploring, and remember, legends never die. Thank you for joining us on this epic journey. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please like, share, and subscribe to Mythic Mosaic for more incredible tales from history. Until next time, stay curious and keep the wonder alive.